Welcome to the second game of Week 8 in the series between the Sydney Sirens and the Brisbane Lightning. Yesterday here at Boondall, we saw a tense 0-0 first period before Sydney went up 2 goals in the second. And Brisbane took control finally in the third period with 3 goals in response. The game was very evenly matched until the third period when Brisbane turned up the heat. And they outshot Sydney 18-6 in that final period, bringing them to 41 shots over 31 for the Sirens overall. Both of the teams struggled with penalties yesterday. We had 14 minutes of penalties for Sydney and 12 for Brisbane. And Shelby Guttormson made her efforts felt very strongly on the ice yesterday. She had several of those penalties, but she also was responsible for one of the goals. So it was very exciting to watch her dynamic play. Scoring for Brisbane yesterday, we had defender Amanda Dixon for her second goal of the season, alt-captain Sharnita Crompton, and alt-captain Lindsay Killenick with the other 2 goals. And meanwhile, we saw Emma Wetheridge add 2 assists to her fast-growing points record. I'm Amy Hubble. I'm here with Lachlan Eels for commentary today. Lachlan, what do you expect?
Well, yeah, it was a great game last night. Saw a couple great individual performances. Tonight, I think, should be no different. Brisbane really took a while to get going. Sydney were kind of all over them in the neutral zone, preventing things from happening. Brisbane couldn't really find that breakout pass, and they weren't forechecking well at all. And Sydney were able to get out of their zone. They looked too comfortable on the puck, and they went up 2-0, and they looked pretty comfortable at the start of the third. Brisbane get the scrappy goal through Amanda Dixon, and then all of a sudden they get the second one, and all of a sudden the momentum has turned on its head, and Brisbane came up with a tremendous victory yesterday. We saw down to the very end, though, it was the Kayla Arthur save right at the end, which kept and gave Brisbane the 3 points. Tonight, there's going to be you get the feeling that it's going to come down to who's going to make a big individual performance, who's going to make a play, right? You talked about Guttormson. Her goal last night was a beautiful individual effort. Tonight, coming from either side, you know they're going to look for their gun players. Over on the Sydney side, Sarah Edney is one of those players they're always going to look at, right? Her resume speaks for itself. 4 years at Harvard, 2-time ECAC Conference Defender of the Year, and she's played at the highest levels in the world. You know, the Canadian Women's Hockey League, the National Women's Hockey League. Her resume speaks for herself, and here in Australia, she's done the same thing. 4 tremendous seasons with the Sirens, and she's been a huge contributor for them, and they're going to want another big performance out of her last night. She got a goal last night, but you know they're going to want an improved performance, especially on that top line. For Brisbane, there's a couple players you want to look at, but defensively is one of the places that they have had questions this year, but it's also where they've stood up at times. And one of those players who's been a huge part of that, playing her 100th game here tonight, number 2, Jamie Goonan. She's been in the AWIHL for 7 seasons. This is her 7th year in the league, all of which here in Brisbane, and she has been a fixture of the defensive back line here in Brisbane, and they're going to definitely want a big performance from her here tonight. So with just a couple seconds here ticking down before we get to the formalities, either side are going to want to come out quick. We saw it last night. Sydney got the first goal. It wasn't quick, though. We saw a bit of a feel out for the first 8 or 9 minutes or so before we saw even a whistle. It was about 9 minutes. So there were some tired legs early. The questions were asked as it went down the line. Potentially, is this what contributed to Sydney's collapse in the third period? You got to ask these types of questions. So both sides are going to want to come out fast. Neither's going to want to chase the game. But as we saw last night with Brisbane, had some success doing so. But both sides are going to want to come out quick. They're going to both want to limit the penalties. And if whoever wins the forechecking battle here tonight, I think is going to come away with 3 points.
Our officials for the game today will be John Bristow as the referee, Mark O'Brien, and Tommy Harkness for the lines.
Yeah, they called a good game last night, the referee crew we had last night. They kind of let the players play a little bit. We'll see where they go with it tonight and how that affects the game. But like I said, both sides wanting to come out quickly here. And it's going to be a tremendous game. A lot to play for here tonight in the context of both team seasons. Brisbane is fighting to keep that, keep in the race for second place, because we know with the Melbourne Ice this weekend picking up some points as well, that they will keep that second place position. But Brisbane wanting to stay right on their tails. And for Sydney, it's about pulling away from Adelaide and keeping that fourth place position to keep them into the finals, because as we know, once you're in, anything can happen. And this Sydney team has a history of winning. They've won minor premierships 3 times, championships 3 times as well, including in 2023. So a recent history of winning in this team, and they know how to do so.
The other thing we're looking at today is who's going to be in net, and it looks like it will be Katie Meyer, as was announced a little bit earlier across the team today. Katie Meyer for the Lightning, and it looks like 88, Naoka Wellard in net for the Sirens. So 2 different goalies. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes last night. Last night it was a bit of a goaltending battle, both players playing extremely well. Arthur, as we saw in the end, making what could have ended up being considered a game-winning save. But Katie Meyer as well returning to the lineup tonight as who's the regular starter in this team. She was away in Poland with you as well with the national team. So we are getting set here for puck drop in Brisbane for the second game of round 8 of the AWIHL season, and we are underway.
Sharnita Crompton won that face-off against Sarah Edney, and we are in the Sirens territory right away with Payne taking control, and it looks like Ali Fisher out there. She did not play yesterday. She is playing today. But Gatormson has the puck and enters the zone, then takes a goal immediately.
Not much a better start than you can have for Sydney right here. Shelby Gatormson taking the puck all the way up the ice and just saying, I'm going to do it myself. It's her 13th goal of the season, 22nd point, and a brilliant start for the Sydney Sirens here. Katie Meyer, she's been out of action for a couple weeks. You wonder if there's a little bit of rust there. The first shot, though, is a beautiful shot down to her glove side. We'll see it here. The breakout pass is good. Sydney committing players up the ice, and the first shot is just beautiful shot down there to the right-hand side of Meyer, and Sydney lead 1-0.
McConey won that face-off against Kate Sinclair, and it is now in control by Lang of the Sirens, and she sends it out back to Newmark. Newmark had a great game yesterday. She puts the shot on to Meyer. Meyer redirects it into the corner. Mossman getting there, taking that away from McConey and sending it around, trying to get it to the other side. Newmark lost her stick momentarily. Mossman sends it up, and it's popped out from Abby Brown to Kate Sinclair. Kate Sinclair dumps it in the corner, bounces out weird towards Wellard, and Lang now trying to send it across and pop it out of the zone. It is successfully removed from the zone and sent straight back in by the Lightning. We have Annie Fitzgerald fighting against Cleo Mayer. Gets it out to Emma Wutherich. Wutherich takes a shot, blocked by Lang. Sirens bench is quite loud. A rebound and a goal. I think that was from Lindsay Killenik.
It was immediate response for Brisbane. I was just about to say this is much better, keeping them hemmed in their defensive zone with the forechecking. On that first breakout from Sydney, they were very passive, just let Sydney get up the ice, and they got the goal. Brisbane decides to shut it down this time, and they get the immediate response. It's 1-1. And Killenik has been a producer all year. It's her 10th goal on the season. And Brisbane respond immediately. It's 1-1.
That one won by Brunt and sent back towards Bellemaw and picked up by Emma Wutherich. She chips it into the corner, and there's a little bit of dump and chase action there. Lightning trying to do what they can. Killenik still on the ice. Annie Fitzgerald trying to get the puck away from York, and it's gone out of play.
Yeah, tucks down there. Brisbane playing this dump and chase game, keeping the pressure on them, right? Not letting Sydney have anything easy. They made the immediate response. Now we're back on level footing. They're going to dump that puck in and put the pressure on, try and just see what Sydney are made of right now. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender, Weller.
That one won by Sharnita Crompton. Courtney Mahoney now with the puck. She's trying to angle in. She takes a shot. I think that either hit a stick or a face mask, and there we are back in the corner again. Courtney Mahoney sending it back to number 26, Ellie Fisher. Fisher, also of Minnesota, sending it back to Mahoney. Mahoney trying to keep it away from Brunt. Good defensive work by the sticks of the Sirens. They're now moving it out of this zone and sent across. Kept away by Jamie Goonan. She's trying to get it out of this zone, trying to get it away from York. And helped a bit by Mahoney. Comes across onto the stick of Grace Kalambokis. Grace Kalambokis redirects it. And Sarah Edney trying to do what she can to get it back into the zone. Fisher sends it to Alex McDonald. Alex McDonald coming up the boards, taken away from her by number 11, Guttormson again. She sends it across, bounces off the boards, onto the stick of Payne. Payne sending it to Edney. Edney chipping it in. Mossman's going to chase. Guttormson's there already. Very awkward fall into the boards. And sending it back out of the zone. Again, we go up for the Lightning. Abby Brown trying to do something with it. Not able to do so. Payne has the puck. Brown went down. Very dramatic play for a moment.
It looked like Brown just skated over the stick of the Sirens player there and just took a tumble.
I think it was completely coincidental. Guttormson, pass across over to number 22 on her team, up to Edney. Edney now moving into the zone. She takes a shot high, bounces off into the back of the netting. Katie Meyer watching, and a whistle.
See, I don't mind that there from Sydney. Take the shot from the blue line. You've seen at this point already, you're 1 for 1. Well, I guess 1 from 2 now. The first shot of the game went on target. So keep testing Katie Meyer. See what happens at this point. You know, she is a very great goaltender. We've seen great performances out of her. So expect her to settle down here. But from Sydney, keep testing her.
Annie Fitzgerald about to take the face-off against McConey. She wins that face-off, gets it back to Amanda Dixon. Amanda Dixon now keeping it away from Newmark. Up the boards it goes. And the Lightning, good pass across, but just tipped too wide by Withrich. Lang sends it back in deep. She was on the wrong side of the red line, but that's all right. And they play on. Rapchuk with the puck. Rapchuk. No players around her. She's making a little bit of space. She passes it up to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets it to Killinick. Killinick across to Withrich. Nice set play. Big trip by Guttormson.
Yeah, just got the stick in there, caught up with the skates of Withrich, and she is she's going to take a trip there. And Brisbane on the first meet at Billy's power play of the night. They got one last night. They're sitting up at about 12% right now, the Brisbane Lightning. So they are doing better than they have been earlier in the season. See it right there. Make a little deke move, and the stick just gets caught up in the skates. But right now, both sides are playing in a dump and chase game, and they're playing a lot in the transition. So expect the forechecking to kind of be a story here. Who's able to kind of hem the other team in their defensive zone for a bit more, I think is going to have a bit of an offensive advantage here as we see this puck come all the way back down to Katie Meyer, killing a few seconds off.
That was won by the Sirens, and Lightning are just taking their time to set up a play, leaving it behind for Madison LaPlante to collect it back to Emma Withrich. Emma Withrich entering the zone now. Keeps control, shakes off the Sydney players, passes it across to Killinick. Killinick settles the puck, tries to take a shot redirected by Arps over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald still in control, leaves it for Withrich. Withrich now entering in. She takes a shot. That one bounces off of Wellard, and back into the corner it goes for Fitzgerald to collect. Fitzgerald back to Killinick. Killinick settling the puck again, making a little bit of space, being followed a bit by Brunt. She takes another shot right onto Wellard, and a save.
I like this more from Brisbane here tonight on the power play than we've seen in the past couple weeks. They're moving the puck horizontally a lot, trying to get the goaltender Wellard kind of on a back foot maybe before they can get a good look. But also they're keeping the possession here and not trying to force anything. We see about another minute left on this power play, so they've got time to work.
Fisher won that face-off, gets it to Brown, cleared by the Sirens. Down to the other end it goes, and picked up by Annie Mossman. Mossman leaves it behind for Mahoney. Almost created a turnover, but not quite. Mossman sends it up the other side to Rapchuk.
Yeah, it was another warm day here in Brisbane, and oftentimes in the summertime here, that particular spot near the Zamboni gate can be a little wet early on in the period.
Mossman going for it, chips it up into the scorekeeper's territory.
And that one ends up back behind the Lightning bench and is going to get tossed back down by one of our photographers here. Shout out to all of our photographers here at Brisbane and around the league itself.
We've had some great work here in this rink this past year. I've been really happy with the photos that we've seen coming through.
So 14:58 here to go in the game. 5-3, the shots on target favor Brisbane.
Fitzgerald trying to control that finally sent in by Brunt. Brunt does a dump and chase. She's pushed in the corner by Anita Crompton. And it's going to be fished out maybe by the Lightning. They're still not able to get it out. Courtney Mahoney, oh no, sorry, is that Lindsay Killenick trying to pull that out of the corner? Still stuck. She comes out with it, sends it across the other way to Madison LaPlante, who sends it forward to Emma Withrich. Withrich leaves it for Crompton. Crompton now coming in. She has Brunt in the way. Passed back to Payne. And Payne trying to move it out. Comes out to Killenick. Killenick not able to control it, and it's cleared. That penalty is done. Back to even strength. We are 5 shots for the Lightning, 3 shots for the Sirens. Another unsuccessful power play for the Lightning.
I like that, though, from Shelby Newmark. They recognized she was coming out of the box, and they just fired the puck up ice, and she got on it, and now Sydney on the attack.
Madison LaPlante trying to keep away. Sends it the other way to Killenick. Killenick coming up the boards, being chased by Caruso. She redirects across to LaPlante. LaPlante settling the puck to Rapchuk. Rapchuk taps it forward to Withrich. Withrich sends it into the zone, and Payne will pick that up on the other side. Payne coming, sends it to Newmark. Newmark across the ice, and back to Amanda Dixon, who sends it the other way. Number 27, Kate Sinclair, now with the puck. Pass to Alex McDonald. This is the third line for the Lightning. Shot onto Willard. She sends it behind her, and it's picked up again by Bellamaw. Maw sending it out. Rapchuk collecting. Back to Amanda Dixon. Dixon.
A much different game we've seen here tonight than last night. Already good move there to get out of the zone for a second.
That almost went on to the goalie. And coming out with, nope, still in with Caruso. Caruso taps it across. Lang taps it up to York. York sends it in. And back around we go. Amanda Dixon will likely collect that. And coming up, Courtney Mahoney brings the puck into the zone. Annika Schmitz, who had a goal in the under-18 tournament in Poland, which was very exciting to see. And now we have Nita Crompton trying to keep it out of the Brisbane zone. Schmitz being relentless. She decides to send it back to the defender and back out for Fisher. Fisher not able to control it. Coming back in again and offside for Brunt.
Offside. You can hear Fisher calling for that puck down here in front of us. Was just starting to say, much different game than we saw last night. By this point in the game with 12:20 to go in the first period, we had no goals on the board, and we only had our first whistle at this point. Despite it being a 1-1 game already at this point, it's been a much slower pace. Both sides willing to play possession a bit more, and it hasn't been as much about 50-50 pucks in the center of the ice.
That said, we haven't had a shot on goal for some time now, and here we are behind the goal with Guttormson trying to get it out to Cockrell. Tipped up onto the ledge by Fitzgerald. She picks it up on the other side. She leaves it behind. I have to believe that ice is sticky today. Back to Kellen Bokus. She tips it down all the way to the skate of Withrich. Withrich now in Sydney territory. Withrich trying to get past Arps, not able to really do so. Killenick picks it up on the other side with Arps pressing her into the boards. And Killenick not giving up. She's kicking that puck and moving it as much as she can. It comes loose and up the other side to Mossman. Mossman sends it back in. Takes a little hit by Guttormson. A little bit of friendly activities, and back we go.
Yeah, the temperature just starting to get turned up here a little bit. And a penalty, speaking of.
Slashing penalty.
And yeah, we saw it last night. The game got a little bit feisty at times, and it looks like tonight might follow the same pattern. It's going to go against Withrich for a slash. But things oftentimes, the temperature gets turned up to a boil when Brisbane and Sydney play. It doesn't matter which sport it is. And Sydney's first time on the power play here tonight. They're at about a 25% clip, which is a pretty exactly where a coach wants you to be. A little bit of a false start there, but the faceoff will be to the right of Meyer. And Brisbane's penalty kill's pretty good as well. They're at about 81%, so we will see what's going to break here.
Sirens coming in, coming across in front of the goal and out to Arps. Arps trying to keep it in. Lightning trying to move it out. Arps again trying. Grabchuk sends it out onto the stick of Fitzgerald and sent back in again by number 22, Payne. Back to Annie Fitzgerald. She sends it into the corner and goes for a change. Big bounce back to Payne. Payne has plenty of space to set up a play. gives it to Edney, and Rapchuk tips it back down the other way, goes past the stick of Newmark, and all the way back down they go. Lang is going to collect. 1:18 remaining in the penalty kill for the Lightning. Guttormson being followed by Fisher. Fisher watching, sent across, bounces off the boards, back to Mossman. Mossman sends it straight back, but onto the stick of Guttormson. Guttormson very capable with that stick handling. She takes a shot straight onto the pads of Katie Meyer. Back into the corner and cleared. It is by Madison LaPlante. And Lang is chasing that down. 48 seconds remaining on the power play for the Sirens. Lang still with the puck. Fisher trying to create havoc if she can.
Brisbane committing 2 to the forecheck here on the penalty kill, being quite aggressive trying to break this up.
Beautiful pass from Edney to Guttormson. They are the top 2 scorers in their team. Guttormson back to Edney, blocked, and a goal for the Sirens.
Brisbane thought they got away with one there. The initial shot from Edney from the point gets deflected by a Brisbane player, but it gets deflected right down onto the stick of Guttormson, and she finds the goal. It's her 3rd goal of the weekend, I believe, and it is also her 13th of the season. Guttormson getting right back in this game for Sydney. They take the lead again.
So far, it's been all Guttormson for the Sirens with the penalty and the 2 goals.
And we talked about it before, which team's imports were going to stand up and make a performance here tonight. And so far, it's been the imports who have been standing up and making a performance, other than the Lindsay Killinick goal, of course.
Sinclair won that face-off, but Brunt took control of it right away. It's coming back out of the zone, back down for Sinclair, but Bella Ma with the puck. She shakes off Sinclair, blocked by Brown. Brown going into the corner against Ma. Now Ma pushing her off of the puck. Alex McDonald trying to get in there. And Brunt moving it away, stopped by Brown. Brown tips it out. York picks it up. York coming down the ice. Rapchuk watching her, stops her, pushes the puck back the other direction. McOney takes it. She passes it straight to Amanda Dixon. Amanda Dixon sends it straight to Bella Ma. Ma back to her teammate, off of the skate of Sinclair, and goes behind Katie Meyer. Lightning trying to set up another play. Alt Captain Killinick sends it across. Goes a little bit too much sauce on it, but it picked up by Lang before it gets to the red line. And here we go with Lang. Pass to Newmark. No, just missed her just slightly. Jamie Goonan going after Newmark now. Pass out to Mayer. Mayer sending it into the corner. And the Sirens are now tied for shots on 5-5. They have 2 goals to Brisbane's 1. Annie Fitzgerald coming along the line. Wuthridge nearly goes offside, and she does.
Fitzgerald just did a little too much with it. Wuthridge couldn't quite time the skate in, and the miscommunication costs them there. And it's going to be offside. As you just said, yeah, the shots on target even here, 5-5. But Brisbane just getting a little too narrow on their breakouts right now. I need to see them get a little bit wider and spread this puck around and make life a little bit more difficult for these defenders.
Mahoney trying to push Arps off of the puck. Those two would know each other well from their times playing on national teams. Guttormson now passing it across to Payne. Payne controlling the puck, looking for the pass. It was blocked by Mahoney and sent over to Fisher. Taken away by Cockerell. Cockerell enters the zone. Cockerell leaves it behind for Edney, and back into the corner for Cockerell. Cockerell sends it across, straight onto the stick of Nita Crompton. Crompton on to Courtney Mahoney's stick. Mahoney now entering in. She tries to take a shot, collides with Arps. There's going to be another penalty now.
Yeah, you can't do that in the women's game, in the men's game either. You get beat on the deke, you can't just take the player out. That is interference every time. So Brisbane now another chance on the meet at Billy's power play. And we see here on the replay, good skated. Just talked about it before, getting a little bit wider here on the breakout. And she made a good deke there and beat the defender, and the defender just took her out. Didn't take any chances. But for Brisbane, they're now on the player up. It's a beat at Billy's power play, the second one of the night.
Fitzgerald won the faceoff, now in control by Madison LaPlante, back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to Crompton. Crompton taking her time, gives it back to Wuthridge. Wuthridge coming in around McOney. Wuthridge still in control. McConey had lost her stick for a moment, not able to get to LaPlante. LaPlante's going to try to get there. Now Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald sends it across to Killinick. Oh, just tipped away. Unfortunate moment. Killinick leaves it behind for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald walks in. She sends it out straight to LaPlante. LaPlante not able to get her stick on it. Good defensive work by the Sirens in front of the goal. Wuthridge takes a shot, swept away by Lang and cleared. And those defense players for the Sirens will go for a change.
It's almost a set play, what we just saw before. Brisbane are drifting full. Watch them do it again here. They're drifting 4 skaters over to one side of the ice, and then Killinick goes into almost a shooter roll, drifts to the back post, almost unseen, and was there just unable to turn it in.
Katrina Rapchuk entering the zone. Puck still not in control. Guttormson doing the most to try to get that away. Still playing for it. Rapchuk and Fisher comes out now to Brown. Brown sends it across. 44 seconds remaining in the power play for the Lightning. Mossman comes into the zone, leaves it behind for Fisher.
Watch
Fisher
they're doing it again here with Mahoney as the shooter.
Rapchuk takes a shot, blocked by Guttormson, picked up again by Payne. Back out to Mossman. Mossman for a shot. That one deflected. You can hear the crowd just, oh, oh. Back out to Rapchuk. Rapchuk across. Mossman another shot, trying to tip it in. Was Brown, but a save by Wellard.
Yeah, Sydney not really clearing the crease there. Brisbane had 1 or 2 options down low at the goal mouth, and thankfully for Sydney, Wellard's able to make a great save. We see it here. They're drifting players over to the right-hand side, but the back post lane was covered, so she just throws one up. Brown turns it back on goal, and a great save there by Wellard keeps this a 1-goal game.
That one won by Fitzgerald, but cleared by the Sirens. I'll just note that in this power play, with 11 seconds remaining, only 1 shot on by the Lightning.
They created, they spent a little bit too much time trying to find that perfect look. They were running the set piece, and then they just kind of committed to it a bit much, and they created a very good chance at the back post, but weren't able to turn it on. But here comes Fitzgerald.
That one shot on to Wellard, saved. Lang collecting, keeping it away from Wuthridge. And Caruso sends it back out of the zone. We are even strength. 5:27 remaining in the first period. LaPlante back to Mossman. Mossman just misses that with her stick. McConey's going to forecheck. Mossman being pushed into the boards by McConey. Newmark comes along, but Fitzgerald takes it away from Newmark. Fitzgerald coming back up the ice, trying to get past Lang. She passes it across to Killinick. Killinick was tangled up with Mayer. Newmark sends it across again. Another opportunity for Caruso. Killinick trying to push her off the puck. Nice play. Fitzgerald again entering the zone. Brunt coming after her. She's got an opportunity, takes a shot, blocked. That's what the Sirens are excellent at, blocking shots. We just saw it again. They block shots, create turnovers, and now we have York coming into the zone.
That first block shot actually looked like it was just McDonald not clearing the slot.
Back to Brunt and bouncing on the boards. Brown able to create an opportunity for Kate Sinclair, who's coming up and out of the zone, trying to get past Noon now. And she does. Sinclair behind the goalie, coming around, leaves it out front. Great opportunity, but none of her teammates were there. Coming the other way is Edney. Edney trying to go through traffic. She gets a shot on. Saved by Meyer. Picked up by Rapchuk. Back to Brown, and Brown off of the boards.
I don't know how Edney was able to even get that shot on target. Was falling down, body momentum heading away from the goal, and she still turned it on the pads of Katie Meyer.
Arps coming in, taking the puck deep in offensive territory. And she's still in control. She sends it around the other side. She has Cockrell there. Rapchuk trying to push her off of the puck. Rapchuk very physical, using her legs as hard as she can. Guttormson just waiting. And we'll see where the puck comes out. Still, Cockrell still moving the puck. No whistle yet, so still moving it. Crompton's come along to help, and it pops free finally. And it goes back into the corner again. Rapchuk passes across, picked up by Edney. Edney looking to re-enter the zone, not able to do so right away, but here comes Gabby Arps again. She's trying to tangle up that puck one more time. 3 minutes remaining. Cockrell enters the zone, takes a shot on to Meyer. Rebound picked up by Crompton. Now Mossman backhanding it to Crompton. Crompton flicking it down and coming out of the zone now. Lightning send it in. Courtney Mahoney elects to go for a change.
No, she was offside.
Oh, she was offside. All right, thank you. Newmark sending it in again, and that one comes off the boards and on to the goal.
Yeah, she chose to cover this one up. The one before, though, she oddly chose to almost play a rebound to her defender. There wasn't any Sydney players in the slot, so she wasn't too worried about it. We talk about it here. Yeah, just saw it the whole way and decided to just let it bounce off the pads instead of covering up. They weren't burned, though, and we play on. It is a face-off now with 2:36 to go in the first period to the left of Meyer.
Won by McConey, shot by Mayer, glove down by Meyer, and she left it for the defender to collect. Coming out on the stick of Annie Fitzgerald, back to Emma Wuthridge. Emma Wuthridge entering the zone. She has Fitzgerald. She takes the shot on. Big rebound, picked up by Lang. Lang trying to take it away, but Killinick there. Killinick trying to move it away from Newmark. Comes out to LaPlante. LaPlante sends it in, blocked by the feet of Lang. Wuthridge to Fitzgerald. Nice set play, not able to get that where they wanted it to go. LaPlante sending it back again into Wuthridge. Wuthridge takes it out. Beautiful shot by Fitzgerald. That was very exciting.
That was a beautiful save there by Wellard.
And now there's an arm in the air again, and it will be on the Lightning.
Yeah, it looks like there was just some frustration and a slash there. Let's see it again on the replay. This was a great save by Wellard, but a good job by Brisbane to set this up. They played that drive and dump game last night, and tonight they've created a couple chances here. The puck gets dumped down there and sent right into the slot. There's the first one there. The second one there by Fitzgerald, pardon me. The first one, however, was a great job by the Sydney defender to tie up the stick, and she wasn't able to get much on it. And thankfully for Fitzgerald, the stick didn't break because it really got torqued.
That is the second penalty for Emma Wuthridge for the game in the first period, and that one was tripping. Back around we go. Brisbane will clear that puck. Rapchuk sending that down as hard as she possibly can. Wellard comes out to help her teammate Payne.
Brisbane aren't afraid to send people forward on the shorthand either, so look for them to try and steal one here at the end of the period.
Rapchuk sent it, but Arps stopped it. Arps coming in now. Blocked by Crompton, picked up by Edney. Edney being pressured by Sinclair, and that one dumped clear. Down we go. Lang to collect. 1:24 remaining in the power play for the Sirens. Lang taking her time to set up a play. Crompton forechecking a bit. She sends it up to Newmark. Newmark across to Edney. Edney enters the zone up the right-hand side of the ice. Blocked by Crompton. Crompton trying to get there, coming around the other side. Mossman trying to keep it away from Newmark, but it goes to McConey instead. McConey out to Guttormson. Guttormson back to Edney. Edney across, and a shot by Lang and a save by Meyer.
Big slap shot by Lang. There was a little bit of traffic, though, but it didn't really affect Meyer. She's able to save that comfortably. Sydney, that's really their first chance they've created on this power play. They need to work a little bit faster. I like that they're getting the good look there. They work it to the point, but I need to see them work something down low and maybe try and test Meyer from a little bit closer.
Guttormson was trying to get to that puck. Mossman wasn't going to let that happen. I don't know what. Actually, yeah, it was Mossman. Back we go into Sydney territory. Captain Edney with the puck. She's having a look as her players cycle around. She gets it to Guttormson with speed. Guttormson coming in fast against Rapchuk. That one hits the leg pad of Meyer. Picked up now to safety by Fitzgerald and cleared. 26 seconds remaining in the penalty and 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Wellard sends it out to Lang. Lang passes it up to Edney. They're going to give it another go in 3 seconds if they can. Blocked by Annie Fitzgerald. She takes that shot late.
And that is a sin in ice hockey, and Guttormson is letting her know about it. A shot after the buzzer. The entire Sydney bench is not happy about it. And if the Sydney team are very well behaved in their response to that, I would say, because I have seen that in the AIHL cause a much, much different reaction. But either way, we go to the end of the first period. Sydney have the 2-0 lead. They've got 12 seconds on the advantage when we come back. But a much better game here tonight so far in the first period. Both teams definitely working the puck a little bit more, having possession here, and it looks like our referees have calmed everything down here for now. But as we talked about it, when it's Brisbane and Sydney, things always tend to flare a little bit. It's one of the reasons why it's a great, great rivalry. Well, we will be back here in about 15 minutes' time with the second period of this game. Don't go anywhere. The score right now, Sydney Sirens 2, Brisbane Lightning 1. We are back live here from Boondall for this, the second game of Week 8 of the AWIHL season. And it has been a good one so far. Both sides creating chances. And let's take a look at the head-to-head stats to see where we sit as we start the second period. As the goals, Sydney has a slight lead, 2-1. The difference right now is that Guttormson goal. And they scored early. Brisbane got one right back. But Sydney with that second goal has been the difference maker here. Shots, Sydney slightly ahead. It is 11-9. The save percentage is right around the same in the mid-800 mark. Sydney with the slight advantage there. Brisbane with the slight disadvantage on penalties, 3-2. And the Sirens have converted one, that being the difference right now. And Brisbane 0-2, which has been a story this season on the power play for them.
I'm just going to correct that. We found there was a mistake on eSports Desk. There were 2 penalties for Brisbane and not 3, as far as I can tell. But we will see if that gets updated. I did have a chat with the scorekeepers during the intermission. So hopefully that will get tidied up.
We get set to go here for the second period. The tension just turned up slightly a little bit at the end of the first period. We will see if that boils over at all. But for right now, we are getting set for puck drop here in the second period. Neither side has too much to panic about at this point, but both have slight tweaks that can be made. Sydney need to turn some more shots on net, and they need to definitely help contain, break the containment a little bit better. I was looking for the right words there. Brisbane, they need to keep them from breaking that containment, if you will. They need to keep the forechecking going, and we saw them cause Sydney some huge problems, and that's how they got their first goal, was they forced a turnover in the defensive zone for Sydney, and they pounced on it right away, and Lindsay Killenick got the goal. So both sides definitely need to make the other one more uncomfortable, it would seem. 12 seconds to go here on this power play for Sydney, and we are underway.
It was won by Fitzgerald, but Mossman's skate got in the way, and Edney picks it up, and I'm going to predict they're going to do everything they can to get straight on to Katie Meyer, but Mossman takes control, trying to get away from Edney, floated out to Fitzgerald, who backhands it out of the zone to Wuthridge. Wuthridge across to Killenick. Killenick entering the zone. We are even strength. Killenick shot blocked by Arps. Arps having a fantastic defensive game today. Tipped out by Fitzgerald and back onto the stick of Guttormson. Guttormson coming in now, looking to get around Mossman. Mossman trying to push her away from the net and back over to Lang. Lang shot, puck was blocked, but shot on nonetheless onto Meyer.
Meyer covers that one up. We saw a battle in front there with it looks like it was LaPlante and who's that right in front of us? Number 38 there for
36
Cockrell for Sydney in front there. And it looks like it's just the neck guard that fell off of Courtney LaPlante. Madison LaPlante, pardon me.
McConey ready to go. Won by Crompton. Crompton back to Callum Bocas. Callum Bocas up into the netting, back down onto the ice. Courtney Mahoney trying to send it out. She was blocked. And back we go. Crompton again trying to set up a play across to Goonan. Goonan tapping it out. This one picked up and brought back into the zone by the Sirens. Popping back out over to the Lightning. Courtney Mahoney now coming up the side of the ice on the near side for us. Trying to work her way around through traffic. Got a shot on. And a few players go down.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. We actually, saw something like that called in the first period, that interference. And I think Mahoney was looking to draw that again. She just takes the puck down here. We see this, and she draws it wide, and then she just goes for a deke, and I think looks for a little bit of the contact in the body, but doesn't get the call. And now Sydney win this faceoff, but only for a second.
Back to Mahoney. Mahoney is going to try to do what she can, trying to get away from Brunt. Sends it back to Grabchuk. Grabchuk back into the corner, past Mahoney's stick, and over to Fisher. And Grabchuk coming in now. Sending it, still controlling it in the corner, being pressured. I believe that might be Poppy Noon. And coming out again, Mahoney, shot and stopped in front of the net, comes back out to Mahoney. Mahoney back across to Grabchuk. Grabchuk takes the shot herself. That one saved by Willard. And in the corner, back around, picked up by Bellamaw. Bellamaw sends it across and back onto the stick of Grabchuk. Grabchuk sends it forward to Crompton. Crompton enters the zone and dumps it in the corner. Going for it is Alex McDonald. Ma coming after her and pressing her into the boards. as she does quite effectively. Brunt going after Abby Brown. Abby Brown trying to scoop it out. 3 players down there. Now we have Kate Sinclair helping out. Still in the corner here. It comes out. Little shot blocked again. McDonald trying to get to it. Noon sending it back to the corner. Brown takes a shot. Goes off the leg pad of Wellard. And coming out of the zone finally. Schmitz coming after Dixon. Dixon moving away up the boards. Sends it forward to Abby Brown. And Brown cross Edney. And Sinclair coming after it. Gabby Arps with the puck. Arps passes to Schmitz. Schmitz carries, sends across, picked off by Wuthridge. Wuthridge takes a shot, goes wide, bounces off. Payne picking it up. Redirected. Picked up again. Good pass across this time, on to Gatormson's stick. Mossman and LaPlante watching, just goes wide of the goal. Picked up on the other side by, I think, Caruso. Gatormson again taking another shot, and a save by Meyer.
And a big save there by Meyer. And good opportunity created by Sydney here. A little against the run of play in the last couple minutes. We'll see it here on the replay. It comes back out, and it just gets fished out there by Gatormson, who turns one on there. Meyer makes the save. And the face-off won here by Brisbane in their own zone.
Back to Madison LaPlante, over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald passes it out of the zone to Wuthridge. Wuthridge coming into the zone, takes a shot on, leg saved by Wellard. Big rebound opportunity, another shot by Wuthridge. Back into the corner we go. Back to Wuthridge again. She's going to come in again, make another effort if she can. She shovels it into the feet of Payne. And coming out is Gatormson. No, she left it behind for a second. A little bit of shoving. Fitzgerald controls that backwards over the blue line, and she shovels it out. But unfortunately, Mahoney wasn't there. Mahoney blocks that pass from Edney, but it goes back to Edney. Kalambokas tries to take it from Gatormson. Shot and a goal by Gatormson.
Yeah, that was kind of weak there from Kalambokas. Just kind of glides there and lets Gatormson pick up that puck. She needed to be a little bit stronger in defense there, and Gatormson is able to get in on net, and a player of that quality is not going to miss many of those one-on-one opportunities. It's her 2nd goal of the night.
It is her 15th goal of the season.
And Sydney now out to a 2-goal lead. 15:58 here to go in the 2nd period.
Shots are even, 14-14. Brisbane needs to get it together.
For Brisbane, we saw it last night that for Sydney, that the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in all of hockey. So we'll see if the history repeats itself here tonight.
Crompton won the face-off, but Sirens are coming in. Newmark with the puck on her stick. Shot blocked by Goonan.
So actually looking here, I think I had that wrong. It's the hat trick for Gatormson. So it is her 3rd goal of the game as Fisher comes in now. Breakout.
Oh, pass back and forth right in front of the goal, but not able to get that picked up again. Lang now moving it out. Back to Newmark. Coming out into Brisbane territory. Rapchuk going for it. Rapchuk trying to shake off Newmark. She gets away from her. And coming up center ice is Rapchuk. Rapchuk again through traffic, coming around the other side, trying to get around Mayer. Abby Brown trying to make a mess, and a whistle. It's a high stick call.
Looks like it's going to go against Sydney here.
A little bit of discussion. 91 White. That will be Lang going to the penalty box for a high stick.
And it was a good play by Lang there initially to kind of prevent that opportunity from being turned on. I believe that was by Amanda Dixon we see here. Yeah, it was Abby Brown. The pass got worked in, and it was a good job there initially, but the stick just comes up, and now Brisbane for the 3rd time tonight here, I believe, on the Meet at Billy's power play.
Fitzgerald ready for that face-off against Edney. Edney wins it. Back to Arps. Arps trying to make enough room to get rid of it. She can't. Wuthridge now walking into LaPlante. LaPlante looking. LaPlante making. No, leaving it behind for Wuthridge. Wuthridge straight out in front. Crompton not able to get there. It's still loose. Fitzgerald taking it now. Fitzgerald coming around back over to Wuthridge. Wuthridge taps it to Killenek. Killenek kicks it into the corner. Picks it up on the other side. Killenek. And so you can see all 5 players on that side of the ice. Shot on. And back to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they worked this earlier on one of their earlier power plays. They drift 4 skaters over to one side to kind of draw the defense over.
Shot on by Fitzgerald and a save.
And it allows them to either find the player at the back post or, if a lane opens up, do that. Because if you've got Annie Fitzgerald on your side and you've got a chance for an open slap shot, why not take it?
Lightning have just come ahead in the shots, but still trailing by 2 goals.
Yeah, they've come ahead in the shots, but the percentage shots have kind of been in the favor of Sydney.
Wuthridge now making an opportunity. Big rebound. LaPlante tried to get there, but the puck was cleared. Guttormson chasing that with Wuthridge. Guttormson controls it into the boards, and LaPlante gets it out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's going to keep away from Noon. Sorry, that was McOney. And now we have it back on the stick of Fitzgerald. She sends it over to Crompton. 40 seconds remaining. Another shot on and popped up, and a goal for the Lightning.
Wuthridge takes a shot from the point. A little bit of traffic. It gets chipped up by a stick. It doesn't matter how it gets in there, but Brisbane have a power play goal. It's their second of the weekend, and they've been hard to come by this year, but when they have, they've usually been important, and Brisbane cuts the lead to just 1. You see it here on the replay. Wuthridge takes the slap shot, and it looked like it was down there. It was Fitzgerald who gets the redirect, so that goal should be contributed to her. And for Fitzgerald, it is her 13th of the season. It's her 20th point. And one of the imports now for Brisbane, making herself known on the score sheet here.
That one won by Sinclair. Back to Costa now in. Costa we haven't seen out on the ice too much yet today. Schmidt's going for it, but Courtney Mahoney now entering the zone. Mahoney trying to make space. It's a 3-2 game, taken away by Annika Schmitz. Schmitz trying to get away from Costa, picked off by Fisher, and now Bellamy with the puck.
Yeah, there were some calls from the Sydney bench for a penalty, but the referee said it was just a good, strong challenge.
That one got past Goonan. Ebony Brunt with the puck. She takes a shot on Meyer. Rebound out to Goonan. Goonan setting up Courtney Mahoney now. Courtney Mahoney still with the puck, entering the zone, getting around Ma. Tries to get it out to Fisher. Fisher with an opportunity. Double shot on and saves by Wellard.
Wellard with good double save there. Stands strong and keeps her foot to the pipe and is able to keep that one out. Let's see it here on the replay. Mahoney drives this one down and dishes one to the slot, and there's a player there, Fisher. But this time, Wellard wins the battle. And we saw last night, though, when Brisbane got one, it led to a quick second one, and then all of a sudden the momentum of the game turned on its head. So we'll see if Brisbane are able to do something with it here as they forecheck quite effectively now. And they force an interception, but only for a second.
Newmark coming in on the near side of the ice. Dixon hunting her. Newmark just has the puck out in front of her. Rabchuk trying to get there. Comes back around the other direction. And up we go. Dixon up to Wuthridge. Wuthridge out to Mayer. Mayer just loses control for a second. Killinick sends it into the corner. McOney going after it. And Fitzgerald uses her body to get to the puck first. Fitzgerald coming in, making an opportunity. Back across to Rabchuk. Another shot. A goal from Katrina Rabchuk. That
What
was
a
a beautiful snipe.
Katrina Rabchuk goes bar down, and this game is tied. We just talked about it before. Brisbane got 2 quick ones last night to tie the game, and then all of a sudden the momentum turned on its head. Well, the energy's right back in this barn. Brisbane tie it up.
I just want to point out that the power play goal did go to Nita Crompton, assisted by Emma Wuthridge.
So for Crompton, that one was her 8th goal of the season. And for Rabchuk right here, Katrina Rabchuk, it is her 1st goal of the season. And couldn't have come at a better time for Brisbane. This game's tied, and now Guttormson would love to take something here for Sydney.
Guttormson trying to get around the plant. This house has come alive. The crowd is very noisy at the moment, which is great to have. Guttormson trying to, Edney trying to control that. A good shot on, saved by Mayer, but that puck is trickled out. There's a hand in the air. It's going to go against Brisbane. Edney with the puck. There's so much shouting. They're trying to call their goalie off. And that one just goes straight across in front of Meyer again. Sinclair,
So a hook against 21 on the Lightning.
That's on Alex McDonald.
So McDonald hasn't been penalized much this season.
Probably the first one.
But Sydney able to draw a penalty here at a big time. And they'd love to take the lead back in this one. Brisbane haven't led yet. We've had 2 lead changes, however, because Sydney have taken the lead twice. 3 times, actually, here tonight.
Rapchuk's goal was assisted by Annie Fitzgerald. That face-off goes across over to Newmark. Rapchuk trying to keep it away. Newmark fighting for it. I think with McConey, a lot of movement. That one cleared by Crompton, comes up the other side of the ice. And Kelly Costa trying to keep it out of the zone away from Edney.
Big
Emma
chance here.
Withrich coming in against number 91 Lang. Withrich moves around her, loses an edge, and it just is left behind.
That was great skating there by Withrich to draw a penalty, so they're able to nullify that one and make it 4-on-4 here for a little bit. Look at it here on the replay. What a deke. Just incredible puck handling here by Withrich. She picks up the puck here in the neutral zone and drives immediately and just takes a great move there and just feels the tap. I don't know if she helped herself find the ice, but regardless, it's a penalty that's going towards the Sydney Sirens. And for Brisbane, it's potentially a lucky break here.
Second penalty on Lang in this period. She is an alt captain. And whistle has been blown, trying to get the Sirens to come out onto the ice.
Yeah, Sydney just couldn't figure out which personnel they wanted to go for this one. This is a pretty important penalty kill for them. They'd want to get it right as a shot hits the pipe from Fitzgerald.
That one coming out of the zone, back to Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald will re-enter the zone. She sends it across. Killenik's shot on. Good save, a second shot on by Killenik. And Brunt with the puck, trying to shovel it out, and it comes back.
You just get the feeling here the momentum is now on the side of Brisbane.
Back in, Fitzgerald deking around. She backhands onto Wellard, and it's picked up again by, I think, York this time, and sent back into the corner.
My
Payne.
word. It's like Annie Fitzgerald saw what Withrich did and said, here, hold my stick.
Huh. Killenik back out to Mossman. Mossman hits the roof.
Yeah, I think she kept it in the zone. I don't know if she was sure if she did or not. She just has a laugh there with Crompton. Well, here we go. Here's the Fitzgerald drive. Beats 1, beats 2, beats 3 and 4, but just can't finish it. And Sydney saying this faceoff should come outside the zone, which is correct. So 10:31 here to go in the second period. Just about to trick down to the halfway mark of this game.
McConey facing off against Withrich. Withrich wins the faceoff back to Amanda Dixon. Dixon sending it up and off the boards to Fisher. And Bella Ma's going to chase that. Getting there first is number 61, Mayer. Back into the corner, Fisher. Fisher being pressed in by Ma. Ma trying to shove her off the puck, but not able to do so entirely. That one is hitting the side of the goal, and Ma decides to
I'm not sure if Ma's going to get
Fisher.
a penalty here or not. I was just about to say, I love Bella Ma's game, as Katrina Ratchuk's going to say, come over here and just say, hey, we don't need any of that. But Bella Ma, she does a lot of things that you don't necessarily see on the stat sheet, right? She's very good at grinding the game to a halt in the corner. She's physical. Despite her size, she gets in. She's very physical. We see right here on the replay. And she's not afraid of anyone. And I absolutely love her game. I love watching her play ice hockey. And she's a real player's player.
She's also a great human, I can tell you. And back over to Madison LaPlante now, coming in, trying to work her way around Bella Ma. Bella Ma pushing her off of the puck. Well done.
Again.
Back out to Mahoney this time. It is 12 seconds of advantage to Brisbane. No, we're 4-on-4 still, sorry.
For another 4 seconds.
Back over to Mossman. Mossman trying to take a shot on. And Courtney Mahoney trying to take a shot blocked. That one back out to LaPlante, over to Mossman.
So now 22 seconds of immediate Billy's power play for Brisbane as they get a shot on. And Ma right in the fray again.
Pushing Mahoney. Getting feisty.
It always comes alive when Sydney play Brisbane. It doesn't matter if it's the AW or the AI.
16 seconds remaining on a power play. Meet at Billy's power play for Brisbane.
Doesn't matter what sport it is really. Brisbane and Sydney, always a heated affair. And the temperatures turned up here in a 3-3 game. Brisbane just starting to come ahead on the shots, though. It's 24-16.
That one in control by Brisbane. Kilinik has to move it out of the zone. A little bit too much pressure from Arps. Back over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald going to make some space. She's being followed by York, and she needs to get around and find a place to go. Payne also in the way. That one off of the skate, redirected. Mossman coming in. She shovels it over. Arps trying to take that opportunity away, and that penalty has come off of the clock. 9:06, 9:04 remaining in the period, still tied 3-3 in the second period. Wuthridge takes a shot on, Wellard saves it. Back out to Payne. Kilinik trying to take Payne away over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald walking in. She takes a shot and a save by Wellard.
This might come back and bite Sydney here in a second. The defense just letting a couple of these Brisbane players walk right into the slot and have a shot. Back to back, we just saw Wuthridge, and then right here on the replay, the puck gets laid off to Annie Fitzgerald, and she just is allowed to walk into the slot and take a wrister on. And if there's two players on this Brisbane roster you don't want to let that happen, it's those two right there.
Kate Sinclair wins the faceoff. Back to Dixon. Dixon sending it into the corner for Sinclair. Sinclair trying to keep away from Lang, who's off of the penalty, has fresh legs, well rested. And Brisbane trying to fish that out. McConey also helping. It's really tangled up. And as long as they keep on moving it, it should be all right. Otherwise, we will have a whistle. Sinclair, oh, it's out in front of Sinclair. The puck being pushed back the other way, and finally a whistle.
Yeah, there was just a few bodies tied up there on the ice, so they're just going to blow a whistle because I think the puck got trapped there under a Brisbane skater.
I will also say Brisbane has now come up 26 shots to 16, although the score is tied.
Yeah, they've definitely been working a bit more here in the last couple minutes. And the face-off now to the left of Wellard, and I think there was a false start there, but it gets uncalled because Brisbane win this face-off anyway.
Crompton sent it to Kellen Boca. Sorry, I'm not going to play catch-up. Goonan back over to Fisher, and out floating shot and a save by Wellard, and meanwhile Fisher pushed out of the way.
Yeah, I think the directive right now from the Sydney bench is don't let anyone near the goalie, and our referee right now just coming in and saying, I think the next one I'm going to have to call, so let's just calm it down here around the crease. But from Sydney, I don't mind this, right? In a 3-3 game, they were up to the momentum's all with Brisbane right now. Create some of your own momentum if you can, you know? Just stand there around the crease. We're going to make this difficult for Brisbane as much as we can, and nothing's going to be easy.
Face-off won by Brisbane, back to the Plant. The Plant sending it around, over for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, pass blocked. The Plant has to pick it up and take her time to come back in. Gatormson trying to stop her. And still in the zone with Madison LaPlante. Madison LaPlante, wow, so good with her edges. Into the other corner for number 36, Cockerell, and it comes out. Annie Fitzgerald's trying to get there before Edney, and she does so easily, and she's going to geek away from Cockerell. Coming up the far side of the ice, looking for her opportunity. Out to Wuthridge, but onto Wuthridge's skate, and it popped out to Sydney. Sydney, hard pass across to Gatormson. Mossman watching. Gatormson takes a shot onto the legs of Meyer, and now Fitzgerald coming back up the ice. She's working hard in this shift, and she's going to be looking for a change soon. Kilinik, and a redirect, cleared, a second shot. Krapchuk being bumped off of the puck, and here we go again. Wuthridge, shot on Wellard, big rebound to Wuthridge. Wuthridge, another shot, goes wide. Bouncing up again, back to Rapchuk. Rapchuk leaves it behind in the corner. Kilinik coming for it, still in control by Sydney and shoveled out by Gatormson. Amanda Dixon, while Gatormson goes for a change, Amanda Dixon passes it to Sinclair. Fresh legs for Brisbane, shot goes wide, picked up by Brown. Brown trying to keep it away, does so. Sends it across the other corner over for Katrina Rapchuk. Rapchuk sends it straight into the boards, and back out again we go. That one blocked by McDonald. And Abby Brown trying to do something with it. Picked up by Arps, and Arps kicking it out to her stick. Amanda Dixon taking it away from Annika Schmitz. Edney now in control. Edney entering the zone, only has Rapchuk in front of her, has several players behind her. Rapchuk pushes her off of the puck. The crowd went wild on that play.
Yeah, because they had a couple bodies up ice, and it looked like there was a breakout on, but Sydney shut it down immediately.
Bella Ma passed that into the corner to Schmitz, and Brisbane trying to bring it out. Dixon gets it out to Brown. Ma shovels it away from Brown. Tapped out back to Annika Schmitz. Using the body, getting there first was Amanda Dixon. And batted back down by Schmitz. Now Courtney Mahoney with an opportunity. She's got Ma in front of her. She decides to stop and wait, see if Fisher can get into place. She takes a shot, saved by Wellard. Back out the other side to Crompton. Crompton taps it back to Rapchuk. Rapchuk brings it out of the zone, sends it back in away from York. And now we have number 29, Poppy Noon with the puck. Big pass to Caruso. Caruso, clear shot onto Meyer. Mossman trying to get there. Ebony Brunt with the puck. Brunt coming around the other side. She leaves it behind for Lang. Mossman, 3 players for Brisbane, seem to be a little bit engaged, overly engaged maybe. Rapchuk now. Rapchuk has Newmark hunting. Coming around to Crompton. Crompton, big pass. Trying to get it to Mahoney. Can't. Shot goes wide by McConey. Rapchuk's going to try again, trying to shake off McConey. No one can get there. Everybody's sticks are tangled up. So Rapchuk's going to do it herself. It's what she does time and time again. She pokes it forward to Crompton. Crompton gets it into the zone. The defenders can make a change. Crompton picked up by Lang. There will be a tripping call now on Brisbane. And with an opportunity for the Sirens, shot blocked and a whistle as soon as Mossman takes over. Interference.
Yeah, that one's going to get called. We've seen a bit of precedent for that tonight. Players have seen that if they're able to make that deke and beat their player, if they're able to get tied up in the contact, that's going to get called tonight. So a very smart play here by Sydney. And when they're sitting here trying to take the lead back in this game, I think that's a little bit harsh, I think, for Fisher. But, you know, they've been calling that tonight, so at least the referee's being consistent here, so you know in the back of your mind that is going to get called. Sydney, great opportunity right here now on the power play.
That face-off won by Fitzgerald, back to Mossman. Mossman sends it up into the corner, bounces out to Arps.
I was about to say, I thought that got the vent.
I think it did, indeed.
Yeah, it did get the vent. It was through the net, but the ground rules here, if you will, at Boondall are the vents are out of play.
And that one won again by Brisbane and cleared easily by Mossman, who does not hit the roof this time. Back down for Arps. Arps has Killenek watching. Meanwhile, 20 seconds have come off of the penalty. Arps sends a pass across over to Payne. Payne sends it forward. LaPlante separates the player from the puck. And LaPlante getting there first, away from York. She has the puck. She's going to try to bring it out. York goes down. LaPlante still moving it. Brunt trying to help get that puck away. It's a very effective way to kill the penalty. Brunt trying to get a shot off. Can't do so. That one a little bit dangerous, but Meyer redirected it. Sorry, we have a Meyer and a Meyer. This time, Wellard comes out, leaves it for Payne. 1:06 remaining in the power play for the Sirens. Here comes Shelby Gatormson. Gatormson enters the zone. Up the near side of the ice, looking for her pass. Sends it to Lang. Lang back to Gatormson. Gatormson coming into the center. Pops it over to Newmark. Newmark back to Lang. Lang winds up for a shot. Save by Meyer and a big clearance for the Lightning. 39 seconds.
Some tired bodies on Brisbane right now.
Lang coming now, passing that across off of the boards and cleared again by Kelly Costa. This time a shot on. Sent out for Lang. 26 seconds remaining in the power play. Wuthrich now trying to get in the way. Stick went up and hit the head of a player. And back down we go into Brisbane territory for icing.
Yeah, icing there. Brisbane very good at what I call passive penalty killing, right? You're not actively killing the penalty because you're trying to shut the game down as much as you can. These things where you're tying people up in the corner, you're trying to just create garbage in the neutral zone and just really not let Sydney create anything dangerous. And it's one of the reasons why they're killing penalties at around an 87% rate.
That one goes to the Sirens. Edney trying to do something with it. Gives it back to Lang. Lang again having a fantastic game. Very dynamic player as well. Gatormson passing it up to McConey. McConey trying to keep it away from Mahoney. Mahoney enters the zone, leaves it behind, and coming in now is Edney. Edney with a bar down goal. Was the power play over?
We talked about which players were going to step up, which players were going to make themselves known, and Edney right there has the puck fall to her in the slot. And we talked about it before on the other side with Wuthridge and Fitzgerald. There's not many players you want to fall the puck to fall to in that position. Less, well, right there, Edney with the shot. And we see it here a bunch in Australia. There's not as many left-handed players here in Australia, so when an import comes over who is a left-hander, a lot of times goaltenders get caught off because they don't see as many shots from the left as they do coming from the right.
Sirens won that face-off, but Kate Sinclair's going for it. She's going to do what she can. 2:03 remaining in the period. That was not a power play goal. The penalty had cleared. Mossman pinches in, but it creates an opportunity now for Schmitz. Schmitz coming up the left-hand side of the ice. She takes a shot on gloved by Meyer. Nice save.
Very confidently there with that save, and those are always good ones to get back right after conceding a goal because they get your confidence right back up, right? You see here a good drive there by Schmitz. Has no one in the slot, so just decides to take the shot on. Meyer with the save. 1:52 here to go in the second period, and Sydney lead by a goal.
Brent controls that, but it's picked up immediately by Wuthridge. 1:46 in the period. Wuthridge enters the zone and an offside.
I think that was a little bit of a break there for Sydney because I think there might have been a penalty called there if the play continued. Wuthridge kind of beat her player, and it looked like she took a little bit of a hook. You don't know what happens, but doesn't matter because it is offside. Sydney get away with one there. Face off now just outside the Lightning attacking zone.
That was Sarah Edney's 15th goal of the season, assisted by Gatormson and McConey. Back to Jamie Goonan, off of the boards, comes out of the zone, picked up now. Caruso sending it back, and Lang sending it again, but Killinick enters the zone. Killinick shaking off the player, holding onto the puck. Nice backhand to Wuthridge. Wuthridge out to Fitzgerald, but it pops up, not forward, and now Kalambokas collecting. Kalambokas keeping away from Caruso, going behind the goal. Shaking off Caruso, sends it up to Killinick. Killinick has new mark. Killinick backhand, forehand over to Kalambokas again. Grace Kalambokas, good pass across offside, unfortunately.
Yes, she was just slightly offside. Good breakout there, though, by Brisbane before the offside. Very confident. There was a couple nifty stick handling moves there to break the Sydney forecheck there. But the pass from Kalambokas was a great saucer pass through the neutral zone. The Brisbane player was just slightly offside to receive it, though. 1:01 to go here in the second period. Brisbane still lead the shots by 11, but Sydney lead the goals by 1.
Crumpton won that face-off. It bounces off the back of the net. Picked up and sent around by the Sirens. Nice set play to Edney, but it comes out to Dixon. Dixon sending it off of the boards to Mahoney. Mahoney backhands it straight into the stick of Corcoran. But here we go, Crompton backhanding to Fisher. Fisher sending it around to the other side. Arps or Mahoney goes to Mahoney, but Mahoney and Arps back and forth. Now the puck is just floating there. And Gatormson sends it to Edney. Edney weaving through traffic, shot on to Meyer from Gatormson. It was cleared. Back to Arps. 16 seconds in the period. Loose puck. Cleared of the zone by Fisher, sent back in again, and Dixon will collect that. 7 seconds remaining. Dixon has Gatormson. She keeps it away, bounces weirdly off the boards, and a shot on by Edney. A save, and that is the second period.
A bit better from Sydney there at the end of the period. They did a lot better, actually. Brisbane, you can see it when it's working. The way that they forecheck is they run like a 2-1-2, and they have the two wingers. They press, and the center kind of acts as like a robber in the middle. They run a little bit of a zone, and they wait for that breakout pass to be there to break it up. But when Sydney are beating that second level, and all of a sudden they're creating a 2-on-2, a 3-on-2 with the two Brisbane defenders coming the other way, they're looking extremely dangerous right now. And look for that to be a factor here in the third period as we go ahead. But Brisbane, they're in a place where they were comfortable with last night, it seemed. They were down 2 to start the third period last night. We saw it at the start of the second here tonight. They were down 2, got the quick 2 goals, but Sydney able to bring it back here. So a lot to play for here in the third period. Go grab a drink, grab something to eat, and we'll be back here in about 15 minutes' time with the third period of this game coming up. Your score right now, Brisbane 3, Sydney 4. And we are back live here from Boondall for the third period of what has been a very intense game of AWIHL action. I'm Lachlan Eels alongside Amy Hubble, and it has been a good second period that we just saw. Sydney got the first goal, but let's take a look at the head-to-head figures here from that second period, or from the game actually. Sydney got the 2 goals in that second period, but so did Brisbane. They lead still by a goal. It is 4-3. The shots on target, Brisbane have well and truly pulled away, though, 32 to 23. It was a big second period. Brisbane outshot them 23-12. The penalties are even, and so are the power plays right now. So it is all to play for here in the third period right now. And for Brisbane, they're definitely going to want to get that forechecking going. We've been talking about it all night. Their success this weekend has come when they've been able to prevent Sydney from getting out of their zone with ease. And for Sydney, they want to keep doing what they can do, but also turn this into a little bit of a grindy game and try and kill as much time off the board as you can. But just doing the little things, you know, let Bella Ma go out there and do what she does, turn the game to a halt and kind of get in there and grind it out on the boards. And don't let Brisbane get too flashy, because when they get feeling themselves and they start playing hockey the way that they know that they can pull away quickly. So Sydney are going to want to shut this game down. And let's go. Third period underway.
Fitzgerald won the face-off, and Brisbane coming into the zone. Fitzgerald picking that up off of the boards, being followed by Arps. She sends it out front, swept away by Edney out of the zone, and picked up by Dixon. Dixon taps it straight back into the corner, and Arps will collect it.
Keep an eye on that corner where the puck is right now, because that was soft at this point last night, and it already looks there as it held up on Fitzgerald's stick like it might be soft right now as well too. With
Wuthridge trying to send it across to Fitzgerald, picked off by Cockerell, and now Cockerell leaving it behind for Gatormson. Gatormson enters the zone. She has Rapchuk in front of her, sent across, picked off by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now coming the opposite direction. She sends it up and past, and we will likely have an icing call on the Lightning, and we do.
Yeah, we do. So Sydney will get a face-off in their attacking zone now. Brisbane just not connecting with that first breakout pass there. Sydney are going to want to continue to not let that to happen. Brisbane are going to want to string some passes together and keep the transition game going. But Sydney, a face-off now to the left of Katie Meyer.
McConey wins the face-off. Back to Lang. Lang's shot blocked by Wuthridge.
Neither of those got on goal.
Yeah, and back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has Mayer chasing her. She cannot get the shot. She's able to redirect. Sending it across off of the boards. Mahoney's there, but doesn't go for it. Lang sends it out. Back to Caruso. Caruso past McConey's stick. Newmark stops it. Gives an opportunity for Crompton. Back to Sydney. Tapped out by Goonan, and now for Courtney Mahoney. Mahoney has just one player in front of her. She shoots through onto the boards past Lang and comes back around with the rebound. Still with Mahoney. She takes a shot on Wellard and a save.
Mahoney able to get into the slot there and gets a shot on. Just not enough traffic there, and Wellard saw it the entire way and is able to make another save. It is her 30th of the evening. And they're going to have to rely on her, you'd think, down the line here if they're going to want to come away with this win. Both goaltenders are going to be equally as important.
Crompton won the face-off. Meanwhile, we have Fisher trying to get to the puck. We haven't heard Fisher do her famous call yet. We'll see if we hear a call for the puck in this third period, but she's still in control of it, being bothered by Brunt.
I've heard it a few times. I think we're just getting used to it.
It's background now. Here we go with Annika Schmitz. Annika Schmitz up the boards and out to center ice. York is waiting for her on the blue line. Schmitz enters, leaves the puck, picks it back up again, sends it out, blocked by Crompton. Crompton past York, out to Mahoney. Mahoney tips it out, chasing it. Schmitz is going to try to separate her from that. Opportunity for Brown taken away. Another opportunity for Mahoney taken away. Now we have Bella Ma colliding with Sinclair. And a lot of cheering. Mossman sending it forward to Brown, poked back out. Still no one in control. Now Edney with an opportunity. Edney enters the zone. Defenders are prepared for that. Shot onto Meyer. Oh, giant hit from Gatormson.
And it's going to be a penalty.
And player laid out.
And she is slow to get up. That was a huge contact there from Gatormson.
Onto Mossman.
Yeah, we'll see if it's going to be body checking. It could be charging, potentially, depending on what the referee decides to call. So it is just a body check is what's called. Not enough of a run-up for the charge. Yeah, no, just a body check there. No charging needed, so didn't have a run-up. But Brisbane now on the Meet at Billy's power play. They are 1 for 4 on the night. They're at about a 12% clip on the season. But what a great time for them to turn their fortunes around it would be.
Fitzgerald ready for the face-off against Edney. Won by Edney into the corner. Payne going for it. LaPlante tipping it back out to Wuthridge. LaPlante sending it back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald cycling around. Coming out front, over, and a shot from Wuthridge, just high.
That got the pipe.
And back to Fitzgerald to Wuthridge. Wuthridge redirecting. Brunt trying to do what she can, still in the zone. Backhand pass to Killinick. Killinick making space, has Arps in front of her. Killinick takes a shot, redirected by Crompton onto Wellard. Puck comes out again. Nice poke check from Killinick to keep that in. Comes past her. Opportunity now for Edney. Scary moment. Edney takes a shot, not much on it. Sent back out. Wuthridge and Edney fighting for the puck.
That was an extremely good defensive play there by Madison LaPlante to break that one up.
LaPlante coming out now. 1:08 remaining in the power play for Brisbane. LaPlante sends it into the corner, gets in front of Mayer, and LaPlante passes it out. Captain Edney clears it, and she'll send that right over to the stick of Meyer.
Sydney already killed off half of this penalty. Great killing by them.
Waiting. We have Killinick waiting for Newmark. Sending it out to Rapchuk. Rapchuk coming up the near side boards, blocked by Mahoney. Rapchuk enters the zone. Rapchuk passes across to Brown. Brown through traffic, shot on to Wellard. And that puck is still floating right out front, and it comes out. Reset. Fisher. Fisher with speed coming around, tapped away by Newmark. She keeps it on her stick. Fisher still there. Mahoney coming to assist Rapchuk with a shot through traffic. And now Newmark moving the puck. She dumps it down. 13 seconds remaining on the power play, the Meet at Billy's power play for the Brisbane Lightning. And Rapchuk, big long pass, interrupted by Lang. And it gets past Rapchuk, and Lang goes for a change. That will do it for the power play. Still 4-3. Shots are 36-27 in favor of the Lightning, but the score tipped in favor of the Sirens. Killinick now tapping back. Backhand to Mahoney. Mahoney trying to control it. Not able to do so. Poppy Noon sends it over. Over to number 25, Annika Schmitz. Mossman takes her off of the puck. Lots of cheering in the crowd at the moment. Lindsay Killinick entering the zone. She's weaving through the players. Pushed off by Ma. Wuthridge now. Wuthridge poked away. And Mossman is there alone around Brunt. She takes Brunt off of the puck. Brunt picks it back up again. Wuthridge pokes it away. Wuthridge up the boards to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald trying to control the puck. Guttormson's really doing what she can, but Fitzgerald is not bothered. She takes pass to Killinick, and it's again just floating. Guttormson coming up the near side boards, entering the zone. 14-15 remaining in the third period. Rapchuk watching Guttormson. Guttormson has Arps. She still controls the puck. Tipped out by Killinick. Killinick goes for a change, and Payne will collect. Back to Payne. Payne forechecking from Fisher off of the boards. Should be icing, and it is.
Yeah, icing called here, so Brisbane getting a face-off opportunity in the attacking zone now. You sense that there kind of is a little bit of urgency in Brisbane. Still plenty of time, though, to make something happen. 13:56 here to go in this game, so Brisbane don't need to panic. But for momentum's sake, you know they'd like to get one back soon. Face-off now to the left of Wellard, and it's won by Brisbane only for a second.
Payne trying to move that puck onto the stick of Mahoney. Mahoney shot on, big rebound, a double shot by Mahoney. Rapchuk now. Rapchuk sends it back into the corner for Mahoney. Mahoney has Arps on her. Mahoney leaves it for Crompton. Crompton being followed by Cockrell. Shot by Crompton and a save.
There was a good double save there initially, and it was Arps who threw the body in the way and blocked that one there. But Brisbane regrouped there. Crompton is able to create another shooting opportunity. And Wellard stands strong again here tonight. And her save counter continues to tick up.
McConey
35 for her here on the night. Pardon me, the face-off to her right
That one won by Sinclair. Back into the corner. Picked up by Lang, taken away by McDonald. McDonald pressed into the boards by Mayer. And that puck comes out for Caruso. Caruso gets it past Fisher, and no one in control. Caruso decides to dump it down into the corner. Comes to the other side for Jamie Goonan. Goonan has McConey. She sends it to McDonald, taken away by the Sirens. McConey now and Newmark. That one passed out. Stopped just short of the blue line by Lang. Lang comes in, looks for an opportunity. That one blocked. Mayer now doing the same thing, trying to find an opportunity, coming around. She shovels it out. That one goes past several Sirens, and now Amanda McDonald with an opportunity. She shovels it into Lang. Lang sends it back out. A little bit of dump and change for the Sirens. And Mossman, big long pass to the blue line, picked off by Lang, brought in by Wuttrich. Wuttrich passes it through Ma, backhands it around the boards, and Fitzgerald not able to stop it. LaPlante waiting for players to come out of the zone, dumps it in on net, and Lang collects. Lang sends it off the boards over to Ma. Ma being bothered by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald redirects the puck, but it comes out on the stick of York. York being bothered, taken away and picked back up by Brunt. Brunt takes a shot, goes wide. That puck just lay there on the ice. That was so strange. And now Killenick with an opportunity. Lindsay Killenick. There's 39 shots for Brisbane now. 11:42 remaining. Killenick sends it around the boards. Fitzgerald's waiting on the other side. Poppy Noon there. Ebony Brunt there. Dangerous. Puck was sort of stuck. Now Rapchuk. Rapchuk trying to get around York and get around Noon. Rapchuk sends it out front. Still sitting there. Opportunity for Killenick. Killenick's shot goes wide. Bounces off to the other side. Fitzgerald pressed in by Ma. Courtney Mahoney trying to do something, but Sirens clear. That's going to be icing on the Sirens. Oh no, maybe not. Schmidt's going for it. She's able to get that waved off. Schmitz gets there first. Rapchuk's going to press her into the boards and try to get Amanda Dixon to pull it out. Dixon now with the puck. Passes past Edney, comes out of the zone, sent back in by Payne, picked up by Dixon, back to Rapchuk, Rapchuk to Fisher. Tormson has speed, sent over to Dixon, Dixon to the blue line, to Mahoney, left behind, picked up by Mahoney again. I think there's some tired players out there. They're giving it everything they've got.
You can't play this pace of hockey for 60 minutes, 2 days in a row, and expect to feel great at the end of it.
That shot went high, but Meyer also redirected it up, I think, with her glove. And now back to Payne. Payne to Cockerell into the zone. Past Dixon. Cockerell and Crompton. Back out to Payne. Payne tips it back to Cockerell. Cockerell can't control it. Crompton doing what she can. Now Amanda Dixon. Amanda Dixon taps it out. Brown falls down. Comes out again to Payne. All Sydney wants to do is at least keep this gap of 1 goal.
Well, yeah, they want to
score another.
They want to keep the possession and use as much time as they can and not allow Brisbane to do anything dangerous with it. But ideally, that second goal would be huge for them.
Meyer stopped that shot on, and the puck just floated, but there were no Sirens around, so all was well. That one tipped out by McDonald, sent back into Lang. Lang taking time, Sinclair chasing, McDonald forechecking, comes out, not all the way out, over to McConey. McConey onto Newmark. Newmark trying to control it. Sinclair coming the other direction, bringing it out of the zone. Newmark brings it back in. Sinclair brings it back out. Nice pass out to Killenick. Uncontrolled, but Killenick pushes it back in. Lang has control now.
So you just heard a call from the Sydney bench saying we need to be all defense right now, and anything that comes into the zone we need to collapse and we need to protect this net. So we will see if that strategy comes back to bite him, because if you do that, you can get too passive and you can allow Brisbane to create an opportunity or two.
Caruso going for the puck in the corner. Back out to Emma Wuthrich. Wuthrich has Killenick, just loses control of the puck. Big pass to Killenick. Killenick receives on her backhand beautifully. moving the puck around. Oh, beautiful opportunity, but Bella Ma cleared it.
It was actually a poke check there by the goaltender. Weller that got that clear.
Okay, great. And out again it goes. Grace Kalambokis trying to keep it away from Newmark, flicks it down. And Goonan sending it back into the corner. And Goonan coming out of the zone. Fitzgerald coming in.
Sydney coach, you can just hear down, has said to us 8 minutes of fight.
Shot from Fitzgerald. Shot from Woodridge. Shot from Fitzgerald on the rebound.
Big rebound given up there by Wellard. Eyes got huge seeing that one with this with the big gaping backside of the goal. And Annie Fitzgerald is not going to miss those at all. Fitzgerald, it's her first goal of the game. And for her, it's been a tremendous, tremendous season so far. And Brisbane tie this one up with 7:55 to go.
We're back to center ice for face-off with Crompton, won by Brunt. Brunt back to Arps. Now Sydney has to put the fire on.
So it's Fitzgerald's 13th of the season, and now here come Brisbane.
Courtney Mahoney shot on, rebound left again on that side, the blocker side of the goalie. Mahoney backhands it around.
The building has come alive here in Boondall.
We've got the barn chanting. Meanwhile, Brunt trying to bring that puck through, has to stop on the blue line. Left behind, redirected by Meyer behind the net. And York trying to get it out to one of her teammates. And a whistle at 7:20.
I don't know if anyone saw that on the camera, but when that puck was there, fought up against the corner, Lindsay Kulinik just took a stomp on one of the Sydney players' sticks. So
I'm sure you're wrong.
Both teams are fighting for this puck with everything. We've seen it all game, and we saw it all game last night. Neither of these teams want to give up an inch.
And Gatormson is practically in the net. And a whistle.
Quick shot there by Sydney. They'd love to have an immediate response. Brisbane have not led here tonight. We've been tied 4 times now.
Sydney has had 8 shots so far in this period. Brisbane has had 11.
Brisbane creating a lot of shots, but Sydney have dealt with a lot of them confidently. There haven't been too many rebounds, but the ones that they have had have presented opportunities, including that last goal.
Opportunity for Kilinik if she can get there, but she can't. Mayer takes it away from her. She has Lang to assist. That one dumped out past Gatormson. Mossman sends it straight back into the corner, and Lang to collect. Kilinik wants that puck, sent back around to Edney, and kept in by Gatormson, back to the defender, poked by Fitzgerald. Opportunity for Wuthridge. Wuthridge and Fitzgerald, and a goal from Emma Wuthridge.
Wuthridge scores. Brisbane take the lead for the first time here tonight. We talked about it. Can Sydney beat the second level? They didn't do it there. Brisbane caused a turnover. Wuthridge had Fitzgerald streaming to the back post. The Sydney defender decided to watch the back post. Wuthridge says, all right, I'll have another. And it is Brisbane who lead with 6:41 here to go. All fight the Brisbane Lightning have been here this weekend. They've looked confident being behind, chasing the game. But for now, they're in front. Let's see where they happen now, because Sydney have responded a couple times here tonight. And still plenty of time to work. 6:41 here to go. And let's get going.
While I have a second, I'll just say that the goal previous to that one by Fitzgerald was assisted by Wuthridge and Kilinik, and it was Fitzgerald's 13th goal of the season. Back we go to Caruso. Caruso tapping it out to Fisher. Fisher sending it straight back in, and a lost stick by McConey. Sirens trying to set it up off of McConey. McConey
shoves in the back. No, okay, play on.
Down, shot on. Caruso takes a shot, goes wide. Meyer far out of the goal. Dixon sends it up the boards. The whole crowd is on
The
fire
Brisbane
right
crowd is not happy about that one, but we play on here.
Newmark's going to enter. Crompton gets her stick tied up. Crompton will be penalized. And she is not the right moment for that. 5:52.
Especially after what you just saw, you hate to see it. That has been getting called tonight, so it is at least consistent, but you see it here. Brisbane shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, it will be a trip here.
on Sharnita Crompton.
It looked like she was losing her balance anyway, but the stick does get caught up in the skates, and Sydney have a power play here, and a great opportunity for them to tie this game.
LaPlante being pressed into the corner by two Sirens players. Fitzgerald trying to help, Gatormson doing her most, and Newmark also. And that one comes clear over to Mossman. Mossman will try to dump it. She does so effectively, killing the first 20 seconds of that penalty, while Edney, captain, resets. Fitzgerald coming after her. Edney moving, Fitzgerald chasing. Edney coming through. Poke check from Mossman. Poked away again by LaPlante. And that went over to the other side of the ice.
That got the Brisbane bench fired up there as it was a contact between Edney and Fitzgerald. Boston University versus Harvard. A huge rivalry that one is here. Sydney and Brisbane now, an even bigger rivalry, if you will. And a face-off will be here to the left of Katie Meyer, pardon me.
Wuthridge is going to take the face-off against McConey. That one won by McConey. She's been very effective. Edney takes a shot, blocked by Wuthridge, who didn't see where the puck went. Newmark with the puck now. Rapchuk doing everything she can to get it away. That one cleared by Wuthridge. 1:04 remaining in the penalty on Nita Crompton. Lang with the puck. Fisher coming after her. Fisher watching. Lang passes it out. Tipped over by Payne. And back in control of Wuthridge. Wuthridge can ably skate that while the Sirens make a line change. Wuthridge, big long dump into the corner and around the other side. Lots of cheering in the house at the moment. Payne with the puck. Big pass picked off by Killenik. Killenik still going for it. York went down on that play. Payne still with the puck. Fitzgerald coming at her, but now Gabby Arps. Arps loses an edge. Poked out by Madison LaPlante. LaPlante gets it into the bench.
Just going to pop up out of the bench. We've seen it all night here tonight. The humidity was turned up here. We've had some storms in the last couple days. The humidity here in Brisbane today was at about 91%. So the ice having a little bit of issues. It is summertime hockey here in Australia, so it is pretty universal around most of the barns. The players are used to it, but it is one of those things that you can't really ever actually get used to. And we'll see if it becomes a factor here. 19 seconds left to go in this Sydney power play. 4:11 to go. Face off to the right of Meyer.
That
left
one
of
won
Meyer.
by Brunt and cleared by Mossman. 14 seconds remaining. Puck down for Gabby Arps. Arps having a look to see who's coming for her. She has Courtney Mahoney. These two have been going one-on-one all night. She taps it out to Payne. Payne, big pass across, tipped over to Newmark. Newmark trying to find McConey. She takes a shot. Not sure that one will count. Backhanded around. LaPlante watching, doing everything she can to keep that away from Meyer. Opportunity for Lang, who's in deep. And Crompton, cleared of the penalty, is back on the ice and fighting for the puck.
That was a very interesting penalty kill strategy there by Brisbane as this one just gets blown dead. They played, two of their players were playing zone and two were playing man. So you saw the first player up top, I believe that was Fisher, who was hunting in the attacking zone. We see here on this breakout. And then at the blue line, LaPlante was playing man coverage there. And it really kind of threw Sydney off, I think. It was effective penalty killing.
Rapchuk sends that around to Wuthridge. And Wuthridge taking control, but leaving it for Lang. Lang pops that out. It goes back to Mayer. Mayer forward to Newmark. Newmark passing to McConey. Taken away momentarily by the Lightning. And Rapchuk now with an opportunity to pass across to Fitzgerald. Poked away by Newmark. Trying to get it away from McConey is Rapchuk. Rapchuk again blocked by Lang. And Wuthridge will go get it this time. So good defensive play by the Sirens. They're not allowing anyone towards their zone at all. But Fitzgerald's entering in now. She has Killenik. She moves past. She leaves it out for Killenik. Unable to get the shot.
Huge save there by Wellard. There was no time to react to that. That was just good goaltender positioning.
And back out to Rapchuk. Rapchuk trying to take a shot, not able to do so. Back out to Rapchuk, taking another shot. Gets it out. Killenik and number 61, Mayer.
Broken stick there. It was the Sydney player who had that stick break.
Mahoney out front to Fitzgerald, out to Killinick. Killinick shot, still loose, and another goal!
The rebounds have been a problem for Sydney here down the stretch. Gives up 2 big ones, 3 shots on, and the third one finally goes in. Brisbane extend the lead to 2. 2:13 here to go in the game. Courtney Mahoney gets the goal, and for her, she's had an incredible season. 11 points. This is her 12th now, but it's her 5th goal of the season, and it's come at a huge time. Brisbane extend the lead to 2. It's not necessarily the nail in the coffin, but that is absolutely huge because now Sydney need to get to work immediately. And you wonder if it was the broken stick there that had anything to do with that, possibly taking a player out of it.
Payne
it was
takes
61
a
Cleo
shot,
Meyer.
Gloved by Meyer.
And yeah, an immediate save there by Katie Meyer. Sydney immediately coming back and responding here. We see it here right off the draw. And it almost looked like it was something set. They just are able to get the puck through and a shot on. And when you're Sydney right now, you need to start throwing pucks at the net. And you don't really care how they go in as they win this face-off here.
Back to Gabby Arps. Arps into Payne. 1:59 remaining in the game. Payne coming around. They may pull their goalie. I'm not sure if they would.
They will, but just it's a matter of time now. When do you make the decision to pull the goaltender?
Back to Guttormson. Guttormson has a lot of space, but good defensive structure from the Lightning. That one hits Payne, and Meyer makes a save.
That's an extremely dangerous look there from Sydney. Guttormson has a great wrist shot, was able to create something, and it got a deflection. You see here there was a player parked in the slot, and the shot goes on. Got a deflection on it, too. Brisbane, I think, need to clear the crease a little bit more effectively there. And that was Mossman. And, yeah, so the goaltender's been pulled here now, so the extra attacker comes on. So Sydney have the empty net down at the other end.
Crompton won the face-off. Puck tied up in the corner. And coming out on the stick of one of the Sydney players, kept in just by Arps. Guttormson coming around. LaPlante down, trying to stop that. That one redirected to Guttormson behind the goal. Guttormson being hunted and chased by LaPlante, trying to set something up, not able to do so. LaPlante doing everything she possibly can. Guttormson lost a stick.
I think it went over the board. Oh, no, it's right there on the ice.
I thought so, too, for a moment. And now Madison LaPlante tips it up and over, trying to get that to Fisher.
1 minute to go here in the period. Sydney got to move quick now at this point. Brisbane realistically just need to have one breakout
Crompton,
to put the nail in the coffin.
Crompton tying it up in the boards for a moment. Now it's coming out. Mahoney trying to do something with it. She has 2 players. There's going to be a penalty on Sydney now.
That is not what you want. Guttormson, I believe, is going to be called. Oh, no, it's...
It might be Guttormson or Brunt.
I think it's going to be...
Maybe Brunt.
Yeah, Brunt who's going to get called here. And for Sydney, that is not what you need with 45 seconds here to go in this game. All of a sudden now Brisbane will finish it on a Meet It Billy's power play. And for Sydney, that might be the moment here that ends it. And if Brisbane are able to hold on, this will be the 8th, count them, 8th victory in a row for the Lightning, who are white hot right now.
That was on Guttormson for cross-checking. So discipline problems continue. Emma Wuthrich now with the puck, back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to Wuthrich. Wuthrich to Fitzgerald. Tapped in front and a goal!
That's the ball game right there. Brisbane make it 8 in a row. They take the lead out 4-7. And for Sydney, it's a case of the scoreline being kind of flattering to Brisbane. Yes, Brisbane have dominated aspects of it here. It's another power play goal for Brisbane. But for Sydney, they've played extremely well this weekend, and it's just been a case of twice the wheels falling off right at the end when they needed them to stay on the most. And Brisbane, too, come from behind victories here this weekend. Like I said, it's their 8th in a row, and they are charging towards finals right now.
Meanwhile,
for Brisbane next weekend away in Perth, it's now going to be 2 white-hot teams, and I know that it's going to be an incredible one to watch as there's just 2 players back in the back now. It looks like we have an injured Lightning player in the back now. They're calling for help for the bench here.
It was Abby Brown who is down. 10 seconds remaining in the game.
It's good to see Abby Brown up because it actually looked like the Sydney player was waving to the bench there for a second, so it was scary scenes.
Newmark has pushed
both sides fight to the very end here.
That's the game.
And the Brisbane Lightning win 8 in a row. It's 7-4 is the final. Katie Meyer in the win column here tonight. It is Wellard who takes the loss after a great performance. Wellard with 42 saves on the night, unfortunately takes the loss. And Brisbane were just able to count when the moments mattered. And Sydney, they played extremely well, but what really ended up being the difference was the forechecking from Brisbane. They were able to cause some problems for Sydney. And if you look at the 3-goal win, 3 of those goals were created on the transition. They were able to force a mistake in the neutral zone, and they capitalized on it. And Brisbane come away with the win 7-4. But like I just said before, Sydney, this score kind of is really hard on them, right? They came up here, they played 6 periods of very hard-fought hockey. They played 6 periods of very good hockey. Brisbane just showed that they have heart, and they showed that they are an incredibly hard team to beat here this year. And I think it's going to be incredibly fun to watch next weekend away at Perth, because it's the 2 hottest teams in the league right now, and they are going head-to-head. So we just thank you so much for joining us. We are away next weekend, and I believe it's a fortnight's time. Brisbane are back home here for the final homestand of the year against the Adelaide Rush, who will have a lot to fight for themselves as they push towards finals as well, especially after Sydney taking... Pardon me, I'm corrected here. Next weekend is the bye weekend. It is in 2 weeks' time when Brisbane will head out to Perth, and 3 weeks' time they will be back here at home. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Your final score, Brisbane 7, Sydney 4, alongside Amy Hubble. I am Lachlan Eels here tonight. Thank you for joining us on AWIHL TV, and we'll see you next time.